Hey everyone! Okay. Oh man. Alright. Hello. Um, I am back from Singapore. I was there for a week for JSConf Asia, which was super fun. And I mean, not only for the fact that they put us up in like a resort, like a beach resort, and we had like seaside view on the top floor, and it was really gorgeous. That might be one of the best hotel rooms any conference has put me up in. Anyways, I am back from that, back to ordinary life, and also I have to say that I think I was partially sick. I thought I was just like on the verge of getting sick when I was in Singapore because I was like coughing a lot and I was like sniffling a little bit. I felt kind of bad for Nadi, who I shared a room with. But and then I got back and then I slept for like almost like pretty much 24 hours or so, and woke up at 1 p.m. today. So I guess I was actually sick. But I'm feeling much better now. I'm still trying not to use my voice too much, just because, yeah, like I think I had quite a bit of a sore throat while I was in Singapore, just because of like the travel. Like it took me 24 hours to get to Singapore in the first place because there was like all these airplane troubles and um, yeah, like I couldn't. There was like two legs of the flight, and I couldn't really sleep on the plane. And then yeah, basically I was getting sick, and then I got on a plane, got more sick, and then did a conference talk and a workshop, and I guess was got more sick, and then came back and yeah. But my throat's feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better, but still trying to be careful. And let's see what else. I don't know if you can tell, but this whole side of the room is now empty. I don't know what. Actually, I don't actually know what state it is in. Like I can't see it. Let's see. Oh yeah, there is no more desk. I'm so sad. Um. Oh, Ryan, thank you so much. Yeah. Hopefully I'm on my way back to. I ate so. I just like kind of like stuffed myself with fruit when I was in Singapore. There was this amazing buffet at the resort hotel where we were in. I just like every morning, just like watermelon and pineapple. Yeah, and then came back and oh, and I just like also every day took airborne. I think that's the only reason why I didn't full on like get a fever or something because I was just like stuffing myself with vitamin C. Uh, but I think today I am truly better. And let's see. Oh yeah, so that side of the room completely empty as we keep moving things out, and we're supposed to move. Like we got a U-Haul truck for February 18th. So it's getting real. I haven't moved in 4 years. I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, as I tweeted this, and then I realized like I'm really bad at like Twitch is kind of not that great about I don't know cross platform things because I put this post on Twitch, and this is all it gave me on Twitter. And then it's not even the right title on this. So if you came here from Twitter, you might be really confused. But I'm starting a new project today, not because I'm abandoning the Taylor Swift visualization, which I actually got. I had a really fun time doing on the airplane ride to Singapore. I realize I'm going all over the place right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I'm at a good point on the Taylor Swift one. So essentially, um, yeah, so there's still the filters by color, and then now instead of having that heat map that used to be below the histogram, now it's this kind of bar graph like thing where if you hover over like each one of these are um, screenshot, and as you hover over it, you can see, yeah, you can see that scene. And I'm taking a temporary, well, not a break, but I'm not going to work on this today simply because um, I actually need to sit back and do a bunch of analysis on it. So I actually just need to go through and like filter it by a bunch of colors and write down anything that I notice that are interesting, and that way I can start building a story. And that's not something that I can do while live streaming. So I'm putting this temporarily on the back burner, hopefully not too long. And then I'm going to pick up this project, the Cinderella project, in the meanwhile, just to live stream things. So I'm trying to get back into the regular live streaming schedule that was interrupted in the fall time, or in the winter time. And so this one today is a really interesting one that I don't actually know how to introduce just yet, but it's been in the works for like a good year almost, and it's a collaboration with RJ, Info We Trust, who does some really brilliant data storytelling, and he's gone down this rabbit hole lately of historical data visualizations. So really worth checking out. This one especially is very much worth checking out. It's an interactive kind of, oh wait, hold on. Where is the act? There we go. It's an interactive visualization of historical visualizations. It's kind of really great. So it's kind of like when major visualizations or visual elements were, I guess, created or introduced, and then a little bit of history on them. So yeah, it's really, really awesome. But we actually asked RJ last year if he would like to collaborate with us on the May data sketches, and the data sketches is myths and fairy tales. And so RJ actually started on this like long winding road of collecting data for Cinderella. And when I say Cinderella, I mean like the 300, 400 plus variations of Cinderella that's been told around the world. I think the collection he has is from 1800s and before, or 1900s and before, and all of the variations, and all of the story elements, like the different elements, like Cinderella is helped by an animal, or there's an abusive stepmother, or there's like a fairy godmother, or like all of these different elements in the stories, and he kind of like he gathered all of this data that's like the 300 plus different stories and all of the story elements that are common throughout them, and then he so it was like months of just like data collection, which is amazing, and I'm like really looking forward to his story, or like basically his write-up of where he got all of the data. And then our friend Mara, so this is RJ, and then our friend Mara basically took a lot of that data set and ran it through. I actually have no idea what she did because this is all in R, but she did a lot of things. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is a really terrible explanation, but she did a lot of things with the data. And now, about almost a year later, I am trying to get going with the visualization of the data. And so the very first thing is, this is something really simple, something along these, so RJ asked me to do something along these lines, which is that each of these nodes are a story element that I mentioned before. So this is like, it's these story elements are the things that are common across all of the different 300 plus variations, and there's 38 of these elements, and it's things like the heroine is ill-treated and she has the menial heroine, so she's like made to do like labor, I guess physical labor, and then there's some sort of a magic dress in there, and then there's some sort of I think I need to actually take a look at the descriptions of each of the story elements, but yeah, there's like some sort of like a lost slipper, a lost shoe, and there's some sort of a like test to see if that shoe belongs to her, and then like happy marriage towards the end, etc. And there's like 38 of these elements, and so I have the data set of the nodes are the elements, and then the edges are basically the direction, basically the order going from one element, story element to the next. So I have it all in here. Here's all of the, for now, there's actually a lot of data in all of these, like there's a lot of them, but for today, I think I'm just gonna look at these few. So basically so this is using, I think, the summary edges, but today I think I'm going to recreate this force graph so I think this was done with either R or Tableau, and I'm going to try and recreate it with D3, and see what happens. Yes. So, okay. So, by the way, also, how's everybody doing? I don't actually know who's in the chat right now, but hopefully if you're there, speak up about how the last week has been for you. And that would make me very happy. So let's see. Let's start with, okay, so element nodes. Let's put in the stories. Okay. Console. So I think today I'm going to use all the edges. So those edges, if I remember correctly, are basically from one story element to the next, and then it's basically for every single story version that has that directionality, or yeah, basically that relationship. Let's see. Hey Andrew, it's been a while, I think. Oh no, you were at you were there for Tony's. So I had a great chat with Tony a week back, I think. That was one of the like most fun technical chats I've had in a while. And then Ryan says last week's been alright for me. We just had Australia Day long weekend here. Oh, awesome. What's Australia Day? What do you do for Australia Day? Okay, so this is all the edges, so 2,500 of them, and you can see like, oh, actually probably better for me to first console log the nodes and then console log the edges. So there's the 38 story elements, and you can see, so it's like all of these different kind of, yeah, menial, heron, and hero, and all of these different elements, as well as it actually gives me the count of, I guess, how many of the stories have this, which is also very interesting. And then here's 2,500 edges, so you can see it goes from this story element, the source, the target, and the variant. The variant is actually the story number. So there's 380 or so stories, and so it will say that it's basically the story that this particular. Oh, Anthony K95, thank you so much for following. So yeah, so this is basically a story in which this particular order of story elements happens. So I'll probably just make a force layout first, and then This is one of those, it's really fun. And so for the Taylor Swift visualization, I've spent a really long time, I spent a really, really long time on the data gathering part. And then I finally finished the kind of the, uh, I guess the prototyping of the main visualization, and so now I'm going to go into the analysis part. For this one, it's cool because the data gathering has been done and a lot of the analysis has been done, so I'm just starting out with the visualizations and trying to come up with something that's interesting enough to be able to like surface. There's so much interesting information in this data set about Cinderella, and yeah, so I'm just starting at the point where I need to try and surface something interesting with the visualization. And that's what I'm going to try and start with today. Some rough visualizations. Okay, so let's just do something really quick. So nodes and edges. So I'm going to use the D3 force layout. And holy crap, Andrew says, I have 7 broken bones in my foot, so the week has been interesting. Lots of doctors. What happened to you? Ryan says, on Australia Day, you don't go to work. Usually have a barbecue, go to the beach, something like that. Awesome. That pretty much sounds like July 4th in America. But the not going to work is probably the best part. Okay. So D3 force simulation is equal to D3 simulation. No. Yeah. Wow, I haven't written this code in a while. D3 dot force simulation. And then I'll put in element nodes. This is my nodes. And then my nodes, and then I think I have to use dot force links, dot force. So this is how I register new forces. Yes, it's truly been a while. Yeah. Your force link, D3 dot force link. And then edge all directed is the links that I'm going to use, and then dot ID, I believe. So I need to be able to say, okay, map this source and target. Oh, actually, I think I might need to say, I might need to lowercase everything. So I might have to, okay, so I have to clean up the data first. But I want to tell D3 that these numbers should be associated with the node attribute. So map these to these. So what I do for that is dot ID, and then I say use the node property. D dot node. Sure. So let me clean up the, okay, so go through each of the element nodes. You know what, how about I say const nodes is equal to map element nodes. Andrew, I fell off a moped, then the moped, oh no, fell on me, do not recommend. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so return for the nodes. I think actually all I care about is, you know what? I think I'll just use ID. So node is my ID. And then, so the label I feel like is actually the description a little bit. So I'll call it, well, actually, yeah, I think it's a, yeah, I'll call it label. And then for links, map element, no, edge, all directed. And for that one, all I want is source. target, and I want to get, so instead of variant, it's the story number is link.variant. Okay, and then now I'll pass in nodes and links, and then that way I don't have to do this ID thing, because for simulation, D3 force simulation, it assumes that to connect to this and this is the ID property, so because I renamed it to ID, it'll be fine. Actually, should I turn these into, should I turn these into integers? Sure, why not? Let's turn them into integers. Okay, and then dot on, missing 39. Okay, nodes and links. Why are you missing 39? Index 39. Source. Oh. What? Okay. I'm gonna do parse int. Interesting. Oh, why did I do plus plus? It's only one plus to turn them into ints. Okay. Okay, there we go. No idea why I just did that. But you are missing a 38. Why are you missing a 38? Not missing a 38. There is an ID 38. So why? Fascinating. There is a 38. What are you talking about? Okay, let's just, for now, leave them as strings. Oh! Hi, Llama. Where do I donate tokens at on this thing? You mean like for this live stream? I actually don't have the donation. Oh, thank you so. Wait, thank you so much for wanting to donate. I actually don't have it activated because I was like, oh, who would wanna donate to this? But if you want, or if there's anybody that wants to, then I can activate it for next time, if that's all right with you. Thank you so much. That makes me really happy. I actually really didn't think. I was like, why would anybody wanna? Yeah, there's like always the option on. Well, also I don't actually know how to turn it on. So I think there's like the option of, thank you so much. Thank you, Douglas Korea, thank you so much for following. Yeah, so I've always seen the option, I think, on either Streamlabs or on and thank you so much, Kimmy, for following. But yeah, I've been noticed. One is Mug. I've been noticed. You've been noticed. I've been noticed. Yeah, I think I've seen the option on either Nightbot or Streamlabs or something, and I'm like, like, why would anybody want to donate? So I've never turned it on, but I will try and figure out how to turn it on for next time. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have no idea why node 38 is missing because it's clearly there, but I'm just going to turn them back on. What is going on missing 38? Okay, you know what? I'm going to pause on exceptions and open the, one smug is now following. Thank you so much. Can you, oh wow. Llama 52, thank you so much for following. And can Can you open the window behind you? I have something to show you. The window behind me, like that window? Douglas, Korea, I'm oh, you watched my course in front and I've watched your course in front and masters. Nice to find you here. Thank you so much for watching me on front and masters. And I hope that was helpful. Actually, if anybody, I should actually ask this on Twitter or something. But I'm in the talks of doing a part two, kind of like an intermediate D3 kind of thing on front end masters. Whoa, holy crap, what's going on? Thank you so much, Airly Lotus. Thank you so much for following. I have no idea what just happened right now. 200 IQ? What? But yeah, so I'm supposed to, yeah, I've been talking to front end masters to do a follow up D3, like an intermediate D3 kind of thing. And I think we're in talks of doing 2 more days. One that's an intermediate D3. So my intro front end masters was kind of just, my goal was to get you to get comfortable with the core concepts of D3, and then hopefully that way, like when you read other people's D3 code, hopefully you'll be able to understand what's going on. And then for the intermediate one, my goal is to get you to be able to think through how to make your own visual, oh my god. Crash Kaboom, thank you so much for following. So and then the intermediate one is to get you comfortable with writing your own custom visualizations. So like it will run through, how to use, like how does SVG work and how does SVG pass work, and then like what are the different visualization forms that you might consider, and then when you get your data, how do you structure it such that it fits into the D3 functions and the SVG, into SVG or Canvas? And then, so that day is built around if you as a front-end developer at a company is given, these mocks, one, you'll be able to tell if they're the right visualizations for the data set, and two, you'll be able to build it. So that's the pitch for that day. And then the other one is the second day is D3 with modern frameworks. So React and hopefully Vue is what I have planned right now. I feel like it's like overloaded on the first day and not as enough on the second day. I don't know. I still need to think it through. But if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know either here or in on my Twitter. And what? I don't know what's going on in the chat right now. So, not quite sure what's going on in the chat. So let's see why 38 is missing and which node or link is making that happen. So the link is 38, target is 6. Okay, and then find. Okay, where is my nodes? So there's my nodes. And there is 38 villain nemesis. And I'm the Sky. Thank you so much for following. And then, let's see. So nodes, and then I'm going to find node by ID. Map. Oh, well, there is no 38. Why is that? So clearly there's a 38 here. Okay. Interesting. Node ID is 38. Why is there a $sign? So if I do, let's say 27, and it gets that, for whatever reason it doesn't have 38. And if I tell it that my ID is d.id, which is the default, so that shouldn't be the reason why. What the? Oh, okay, so that's unknown type undefined. .id is between d.id. Okay, well, so I don't quite know what's happening there, so I'm going to move on. Source, target, so source, target, and then actually, yeah, so it defaults to, oh, wait, okay, so it defaults to, you know what, I'm gonna do this, node, and then I'm gonna say .id, because it defaults to, actually, I think it defaults to index space, so then I need to tell it the ID to d.node, and then it should be working. There we go. Yeah. I forgot. It's been truly a long time since I've worked on force simulations, it seems like. Yeah, okay, so essentially I had to pass in the ID. Like I had to tell D3 Force which of these, which of my attributes, which of my node attributes I should be using as ID. So actually, I could be putting this back into d.id, or else for simulation just defaults to. Oh, Smedward, thank you for following. And then it defaults to index-based instead of, yeah, and then so if I do .id, then it knows to look into, it knows that the links should be using the that ID to kind of substitute the nodes, the source and target nodes in there. So that worked, and then now that I've done that, the actual work part. Okay, so let's do this for now. Let's just create an SVG container, and then component did mount. You know what? Let me use a constructor. Is it props? And then do super props and zip props. I can't remember. Whatever it is. And then this dot state is equal to nodes. Let's just do null for now. Do an array for now. Links an array for now. And then here, let's just do. Okay, let's do this dot set state nodes and links. And then let's do here. I'm going to say this dot simulation. So I'll define the simulation up here, d3.force simulation, and then dot on tick. I will do this dot on tick, and that on tick function I will define down here, and then yes, perfect. Okay, and then now I will now go to component and mount. So once I've loaded in my data, what I'm gonna do is here say simulation. Actually, I think I should do this. Actually, and then I think I want to tell the simulation to not start yet, so I think that's just to tell it, yep, simulation.stop, and then do that here. Yeah, so simulation, this dot simulation is this dot state dot nodes. Oh wait, no. This dot simulation dot nodes, I think. So yeah, pass in those, and then tell it the links also, and then let's see. Now I want to create this dot container is equal to d3 dot select this dot revs dot container, and then let me create some circles and edges. Circles is equal to this dot container dot select all circles dot data is the nodes dot enter dot append circle. Let's just have a radius of, oh wait, actually, so this dot circles, because I need to be able to get the circles in this function. Let's just give it a radius of 10, and then the links, actually lines, this dot container dot select all 9 dot data, put in the links, enter append 9, and then for this one I should just have to do a stroke of, let's do black for now. Start the simulation. This starts the simulation. Actually, force link. Let me do this actually. Let me, no, let's keep it there. And then on tick, on each tick, I want to go through the circles. And now that I have XY information, to CX is D dot X, and CY is D dot Y. And for each of the lines, I want to do x1 d dot source dot x dot adder x2 d dot target dot x dot adder y1 d dot source dot y, and finally y2 d dot target dot y. Awesome. Okay, links is not defined. Where did I, oh, there we go. And then here, use this dot state dot links. And then, let's see, root SVG. Okay, so width, let's have width be 900 and height be 600 for now. And set width and height here. And then component did mount, so component will mount, component did mount, select dot, oh, dot data, enter a pen. No, that looks right, so why is nothing drawing? This dot container, this dot circles, so component did mount. Oh, of course, of course. Okay, so, okay, that's not drawing because component amount most likely happened after all of the data came back. So I need to have this happen. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this in component did mount. And then have this happen in here for now. So here, let's just use nodes and links, nodes and links, and that should draw some things. Oh, there we go. So it drew a bunch of things here, here, but it did not restart the simulation, it seems like. Let's see, on tick, so this dot simulation dot on tick, this is that one, so why aren't you going? Okay, let's see if we go in there. Okay, so we don't even hit on tick. This dot on tick. Okay, let's see if we hit this. If I do this, will it work? Why? Okay, so for whatever reason, setting this simulation.nodes and .force is not re-triggering. Okay, so how about if I say restart? Did I have to say restart? Is that the trick? There we go. So that restarts, and then I guess I'm gonna reset the alpha also. Alpha starts at, usually defaults to 1. Okay, so dot alpha 1 and dot restart. I swear, if you just put in the nodes, I thought it would automatically restart it. I guess not. Ah, okay, it's up there. That's ugly. Okay, so let's, first of all, fill is, let's just make it white, make the stroke black, and then, okay, let's give it a bunch of things. Let's say, let's give it a bunch of properties. Let's do, where do we tell what oh, actually, okay, so each of the links should have distance. I want you to keep a minimum distance from each other. So, dot distance of, let's say, 100. And then let's have you centered also. There we go. Oh, I want to have the links be drawn before the circles. Then, let's see. Okay, let's have centering dot force center. Dot force. Hey RJ. Okay, this is all it is right now. Dot force center. D3 dot force center is the one I want to use. Yes, D3 dot force center, and then pass in the X and Y. So width divided by 2 and height divided by 2. Okay, now it's in the middle. So this is the 38 nodes with the 2,500 or so edges. Let me make those edges less opaque, and then we can probably see them better. And let's push apart the nodes more, and then let's see. There we go. Let's see, for each of the circles, let's actually put their number in there, but let's first also push them apart more. So let's give each of the nodes a charge. And charge, D3 dot force many body, and let's then have a charge of negative 100. A little bit more maybe. Okay. 200. Whoa, I hear my fans, my computer fans going. Okay, and then now, fascinating. I want you to also drag. I want to be able to drag you. Okay, let's do that later. Let's see. You know what? Okay. So many things I want to do. One thing at a time. Okay. Concentrate. One thing at a time. Okay. Let's first put the element number into each of these circles. So, call this render circles. Too much work. Okay, so get groups and then append groups. And here, instead of dot adder cx and cy, I want to do transform. To translate, you get x, d dot x, translated by d dot x and d dot y. And then for each of the circles, I would like to enter this dot circles, dot append a circle. Maybe make this 12 radius. And then for each of the circles, also append a text. Dot adder text anchor middle, and then dy 0.35m. That should vertically and horizontally center things. Dot text is d dot id. Yes, d dot id, and that should give us all the numbers. Perfect. Okay, not that these numbers actually mean anything unless Actually, I think what would be interesting going forward is if we actually make the numbers be where they are relatively in the stories. Future thoughts. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I actually want to color some of these, like, so I actually want to color some of these edges. Let me do it this way. I'm gonna just, so I want to color these edges by which story. So what I'm gonna do is we have these story numbers. So there's these story numbers, and I think I'm just gonna really simply make them colored by, excuse me, so go from 1 to, so there's about 380 or so stories, so which is going to be a really simple like rainbow gradient. Yeah. And to do that, I'm going to use D3 scale and scale ordinal. And there's like a rainbow scale, which is really cool. Interpolate rainbow? Is it? Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? Cool, this one. So, what we're gonna do is, first of all, how many stories are there? Darn it. You can just see console log, and I load it in the stories CSV. So let's console log that. 341 stories. Perfect. All right. Next, for this one, there are, so for the story numbers are, there's an S and then it's the story number. So what I'm going to do is dot replace the S with, just basically delete the S, and then I'm going to parse int that. You know what, I'm going to parse int the source and target also. Perfect. So story, and then here, now what I can do is for each of the links, I can stroke it by d.interpolate rainbow. I highly discourage this in like production, but I'm just prototyping today, so this is fun. I'm going to turn them into rainbows. So d.story divided by stories.length. Let's see what happens. Nope. Okay. Oh, D3 dot rainbow. Yes! You see nothing useful. Okay, cool. 340 stories. Okay, so I think one of the next things I wanted to do is let's see. Let's see, absolutely nothing useful, as expected. Okay, I'm gonna go take a 5 to 10 minute break, and then I think I'm gonna get a different data set ready. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a different data set ready, and then Okay, I think I know what I want to do. So I'm gonna go get a different data set ready, get a water break, and then I'll be back at 9:10. Okay, hey, I'm back. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do now is have an idea, which is that one of the pieces of data that RJ and Mara put together was this percentage thing, which is approximately where in the stories do these elements appear. So what I want to do is um, I want to basically place them diagonally in order, and then I want to draw the links either above them. So I think if it's going forward, then above them, or below them if it's going backwards, just to test something out. So I'm gonna download this data set, and then save as. And then I think when I finish doing this, I think I'm going to go for the night, because my boyfriend should be coming back soon, and then I'm gonna make mochi for us to eat. Yeah. So element. Okay, so element percentages. Yeah. Percentages dot CSV, save, and then so bring that in, element percentages, cool, and then that way, oops, percentages, and then let's put that into the nose. Element percentages. No, don't freeze on me. Okay. Mom. Okay. No, just okay. Focus. How about I do not restart for now. Focus. Don't run the full simulation for now, and then instead just give me element percentages. Cool. So average percentage. Okay. No. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I think N is, wait, no. No! This one doesn't have the ID. Why? Which means that I have to, I hope the element name and the element label here matches. I sincerely hope they match. Okay. No! Okay. So cost percentage, let percentage equal to y. Okay. Element percentages, and then let's just find, okay, p dot element name dot to lowercase is equal to node dot label dot to lowercase, and if there isn't one, then debugger, let's see how bad it is. Ah, I think they all match. I hope they all match. So console.log percentage yes, I'm so glad they match. Okay, percent is equal to parse float. Okay, const is a parse float percentage dot average percentage. Cool. And then now let's see, console.log nodes. You know what? I think what I'm going to do cool. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Chain, and then get the percentages, and then sort by those percentages. Dot percent dot value. Cool. Villain nemesis. I wonder what that means. Villain nemesis. And then for each of them, fix them at a certain point. You know what? I'm gonna put them as 900, and then actually I don't think I need to. Okay, actually, what if I do fx is percent, and then percent is equal to parse float, the percentage, and then I'm just gonna fx is equal to the width times percent along where in the story it is, and the same thing for y. Fix them, sorry, at those places, and then let's see what happens. Okay, and then once I've fixed those, percentages is not defined. Once I've fixed their positions, then I'm going to turn the links into, ooh, okay, fascinating. Interesting. None here. Okay, let's not do it that way, because there's like way too many of them that are squished together. So let me just evenly space them out. And hey, Sean, how are you? How you been? How's the Webpack? How's the Rocket League? I have started on something new, and so what I'm going to do is, okay, sort them, and then let's see, node, and then let me fix the x and y by where they are in their index, essentially. So return object.assign and node, and then fx is I divide by the length of nodes times the width, and then fy is that same thing except by the height. Then perfect. Okay. And then I want to now make that bigger actually. 1200. 1200. Whoa. And then now what I want to do is make each of the links into a curve. So a curve above means that it's going forward from there. And a curve below means that it went backwards from there. So links is select all as a path. And then Sean says, hi, I'm doing well, Webpack is going well, and Rocket League is going great. Because like you were actually like really practicing Rocket League skill. Actually, and also Seattle. Yeah, you moved to Seattle a while ago. How's that going? And Brian is now gonna move to Seattle soon too. And then Sean says, looks like funsies, just getting my stream ready and updating my things. Can't wait to share VS Code live stream tonight. Ooh. Okay, I will go and join that once I'm done with this for a little bit before Alex gets home. Okay, so there's path, stroke, and then here, what I'm going to do is turn this into an arc. So, let's see, SVG path arc. Line commands, curve commands, there we go. Ooh. Curve, Bezier curves, arcs. Okay. I always get so confused by this. Okay, so Rx, so wait, arc, you know what? I might, okay. Okay, so, darn it, I always get so confused. Maybe it's better, maybe it's easier for me to do the quadratic. Okay, so the quadratic is basically just, I have to figure out this one, and that's it. This, just have to figure out this point. So that's my starting, that's my ending. I have to figure out that one. Okay. Darn it. This shouldn't be so hard. Trigonometry. Actually, okay, then. Arcs are sections. Okay, for a given x radius and y radius, there are two ellipses. So so Rx, two arguments for the x radius and y radius. The final two arguments designate the, okay, so I think actually this is the easier one to use. So this is basically, so this is the radius in the x direction and radius in the y direction, and for me that should just be the same. And then x-axis rotation, I can never actually remember what that means. Okay, Nadia has a great explanation about arcs. Text arcs with D3, okay, and this is where she like does a really great explanation of how arcs work. Creating an arc, okay, so let's see. There's the start x, okay, x-axis rotation. So this sets the rotation of the arc's x-axis. Rotation of the arc's x-axis. Okay, leave it at 0. Large arc flag and sweep flag are needed because just applying the start and end position together with the radii still leaves you with 4 possible arcs. W3 gives the best explanation and image of the 4 candidate arc sweeps. 2 will represent an arc sweep that is more than 180 degrees, the large arc, and 2 will represent an arc sweep that is less than 180 degrees, the small arc. Okay. if large arc flag is 1, one of the two larger arcs will be chosen. Okay, if sweep flag is 1, then the arc will be drawn in a positive angle clockwise direction. Oh my god! Okay. Okay, a value of 0 causes the arc to be drawn in a negative angle clockwise direction. Okay. I always need this reminder. I can never, ever remember this for myself. Okay. Sean says, so true, I'm doing it constantly, 15,000 hours plus Rocket League practice. I won't distract you anymore. No! Keep distracting me, this is great. Okay, so doing the arc dot adder, so D, and then, okay, so the start is D dot source dot X. So basically return, okay, so return M, so move to d.source.x and d.source.y, and then the next one is the radius x and radius y. You can draw an arc with the A command followed by the radius of the arc in the x and y direction. Okay, so let's make the radius be basically the distance of, let's make it into the distance of between the start and the y, maybe divide by 2. The distance between the start and end positions divide by 2. So const distance is equal to, and that should be so sad. I can't remember any of these things. Distance formula. So it is this. Okay. So it's the square root. Why do I? Okay. So that was really embarrassing. Okay. So math dot power of const x1 is equal to d dot source dot x. Const y1 is equal to d dot source dot y. And then const x2 is equal to d dot target dot x. Const y2 is equal to d dot target dot y. And then that way we can just say x2 minus x1 to power, and then math dot power of y2 minus y1 squared. And then, so this way, we can do this x1 and then x2 and then have an arc. And then arc is distance divided by 2 and distance divided by 2. And then x-axis rotation, apparently just leave it at 0. Large arc flag, I think I want the small arc flag, and then I want it to draw in the clockwise direction, so 1, and then my ending is going to be x, so y1, this one is y1, and then x2, and y2. Yes. And I hope that works. Whoa! Okay, this did work. So, except a little, some of them are a little too big. So let's make them smaller. Distance divided by 4. And then also let's make them have a dot outer fill of none. And then let's make the opacity bigger too. And see what happens. Did I learn anything from this? I'm not sure if I learned anything from this. Am I learning anything from this? Hmm. 5. Let's go back to point 5 and then just let's make it even smaller. And then also let me do this. Yes. Yeah. Okay, let me give some pattern. Width times 0.1 times 0.8 plus width times, no, height times 0.1. Okay. And then let me also make it such that you can, style is, visibility, no, overflow, make overflow visible. Let's also make the strokes a little bit thicker, so that's lines dot outer stroke width make it into 2. Did this teach me anything? Did this visualization teach me anything? I'm not quite sure yet. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is also, let's see, add another text. Which is dy.5m, and this is going to be a label that outer x is going to be 12, and then this text is the label, so we can see what it is. Oh, it looks really fuzzy on the live stream. I hope that's okay. I hope it's not too fuzzy for everyone else. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm not quite sure yet how helpful this is. But I'm gonna leave it here. Yeah, so I think maybe the next thing I want to do is be able to like hover on one of these and then see the story itself. But definitely this needs a lot of work. Yeah, definitely a lot of work. Speaker is end. Oh, RJ, I'm glad you were watching the whole time. Let's see. You know what? I'm also going to give it like a padding. RJ, is this helpful at all? Padding of 40 so that we can see everything. I think there's something interesting. Like I don't think we should be using this as the end visualization, but I think there's something interesting here. Like we should definitely play with this. Like I think there's something there's probably a good interesting middle ground between this and this, in that there's probably a good something interesting, like there's something interesting about this one. I think we should figure out a better way to lay out the the elements. Like we should probably be able to like shift them around somehow. But I think there's something interesting, like for example, that like a lot of the like a lot of the arcs are smaller, which means that like the elements are closer by. Like in a lot of the stories, the elements um, that this ordering is relatively accurate. And then, but then, like for example, this is interesting. Like from the heroine to the villain nemesis. I mean, granted, I think for some of these, the standard deviation is quite big. Like, where did I? Oh, I guess I closed it. But like these percentages of where the element occurs in the story is there's some of them have a huge standard deviation of where it could occur, and some of them have smaller ones. So then, like this villain nemesis, maybe it had like a huge, um, this huge standard deviation. So like that's why there's one that's like goes from this heroine and hero, and it goes here. But like it's interesting because a lot of them, yeah, the arcs are smaller, which means that for a lot of them, it probably follows this sort of a pattern. And then there's less arcs, I think, below, which means there's less arcs that go in the opposite direction, like that the elements are flipped around. I think that's also interesting. Another one that I was curious about was like, how would this look like if we were to kind of separate them out with the different story variants? So like, would this still look this way if we were to, because this is all 340 of the stories, but if we were to like take them out and place them individually, like how would that look? And the staircase metaphor, like Cinderella running out of the palace. Oh, I love it. RJ, only you could like take something ugly like this and like turn it into something interesting. So let's see. Maybe I can. No, I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now, and then I'm gonna talk to RJ. But yeah, I think there's something interesting here. So yes, I think we should do that. Okay, I'm gonna go for tonight. Thank you so much to yeah, so I was thinking that just now also. So it would be interesting to see standard deviation as distance from diagonal. Let me actually try that right now. So I don't think, so I'm gonna, you know what, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do, let's do the x as the standard deviation right now. So what we can do is percent as the parse float percent, and then the standard deviation. I can't remember which one, what the standard deviation looked like. So, sources, element percentage, preview, percentage standard deviation. So parse float dot average, right here, percent standard deviation. And then what I can do here is, instead of doing that, we shall do fy is height. No. The y is still what percentage the story is, and then the x is now width times new dot standard deviation times 0.8 plus height times 0.1. And then if there's anything interesting there, oh, have the debugger in here. Fascinating. Is it fascinating? I'm not sure. So right now all I've done is the x direction, like from is the standard deviation. So the more right it is, the more variation there is. So marriage test actually has quite a bit of standard deviation. And then the more it is on the left-hand side, the less deviation it is. It's interesting. I would say visually it's still too much. Okay, now that I'm doing this, I might as well just do the whole like, okay. Let me call this steps. Steps. Source. Visualizations. Let's call this step.js. Let me break it apart into the different variants. So, step simulation. Okay. Let's see. What I want to do is figure out the different variants. So for each story, oh god, okay. So for okay, stories, variants. Let's call this variants, and then okay, so then variance is equal to chain edge all directed dot let's see, dot map okay dot value and let's see. RJ says we have to remember that the percentages are kind of wacky to begin with. Yes, and shouldn't be afraid to do what looks good and helps tell the bigger story. Okay, I gotta go back to writing. 45K words hit today. Congrats! I'm gonna finish this tiny little thing, and then I'm gonna hopefully words. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Okay. Const story. I hope it's not blurry for everybody else. Okay, because it looks blurry to me. Const story is equal to parse int variant. So that's story, and then okay, stories has story number and variant group. Perfect. So const variant is equal to find stories and then s dot story num. That probably comes in as a string and then is equal to story. So variant, and then after I found that, then get the variant group dot variant group, and then group each of them, group each of the links by the variant. The variance console.log variance. See if that works. Perfect. A, B, C, D, A. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now that I have each of those, I'm gonna, so those are basically all the links separated into variants, and now what I'm gonna do is import in the steps from visualizations /step, and then create one of those little arc things for each variant. So const steps is equal to map this.state.variance, and then it would be links and variant for each of them. Return step where the nodes are this.state.nodes and links are the links, and then the variant. That should be good enough. Oh, wait, hold on. And then, let's see. And then here I want to put in steps. And now here I want to essentially take out each of these queues. And then on component did update, because that's when the data would have come back, I'll do the nodes and then I'll draw everything. Oops. Yes, okay. But then I have to refactor it a little bit. Because right now I'm assuming, so right now I'm assuming that everything will be like, okay, so I can take out the nodes and links here, and then, because I can take that calculation out because it's done in app, and then every time now that I'm using nodes and links, it needs to be from props, because I'm being passed in that from the parent app now. And so this props.nodes, and then also links, this.props.links and this.props.links. On style is equal to this. Style, and that should hopefully give me like 5 or 6 different variants. Story is not defined. Okay, fair. Stories is not defined. I think this was 341, so I'm just going to hard code that in right now. 341 is number of stories. Okay. What happened? Inspect. They're there, but nothing is showing up. Oh, and then for each of them, I can also have an H2 and then H1, and then for that, I want it to say this.pops.variant. So we know which variant it is. Oh. Oops. Okay, and then we can figure out why nothing is drawing for each of them. Let's see. Why is nothing drawing? Component did update. So if component did update, is that even getting hit? Bugger, no. Okay. Let's see. Debugger here to see. Okay, so that's May. Okay, so steps, and then is this when all the steps are made? Okay, and then wait, why doesn't the set state trigger a re-render? Shouldn't that trigger a re-render? Oh, actually, let me do this in component will mount. I think maybe that's why it's not re-triggering. I think because I put it in component did mount, that's why it's not triggering re-render. So I think I have to put it into component will mount. I think. Huh. Okay. Why? So that loads everything. Okay, and that triggered a re-render. And now step.js component did update. It does not go into component did update. Huh. Huh. Why not? Why not? Okay, should component will receive props. Debugger. Okay, take away these. Huh. Console.log this.state. Oh, because I did it on the app. Okay. Do it in step.js instead and see what happens. There's no debugger. Okay, show console drawer. First it's 0, 0, and then it's this. Huh. Okay, so next props. Console.log next props. Oops, next props. Why aren't you doing anything? Why are you not? Why are you not re-rendering? Component, should component, how about should component update. React should component update. Why are you not? I'm very confused right now. Okay, does this happen? No, that should happen. That does happen. But when step.js component in mount happens, there is no, okay. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it this way. So if this dot state dot nodes dot length, so only create the steps if everything's been loaded. And then do everything on component did mount. Do all of the drawing on component did mount. And then that should hopefully work. This dot container, oh oops. And so this dot container is equal to d3 dot select this dot refs dot container. Okay, and then hopefully that should work. Step end. Why is there step end? Step end. Oh. What the? Ah. I see. I see what happened there. Okay, so step. Put that back as app. Replace all. And then here just step. And step. Huh. Slight bit interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to making it diagonal for now, so I think you can see it better. Okay. Okay. I think that's it for the day. Let's see. What is one? Why is the ending cut off at the end? What the? Okay, hold on. Yeah, let's take this out. Okay. I'm bothered by those colors because technically speaking, Okay, I'll think about that later. Okay, so here it is. Super interesting actually, because like this one is interesting. Like C is really small, and it starts with A. Because like some of them go to magic shows, and some of them goes to him disguise and heal disguise. So that's interesting. Like some of them, yeah. C is the most interesting. Oh, DB is interesting too. Okay, so this. That is it. It's okay. JS is one big confusion. Is that what you said? Angry Moose on the list. um, okay, so this is where I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you so much for joining, and hopefully that was. This is basically what. Yeah, this is basically what I go through when I do prototyping work. So when I just get the data set and I'm not sure like what's in there, if there's anything interesting. So this is basically what life is like at the very beginning. It's not flashy. It's very like it's quite boring to watch probably, but hopefully it gives like a bit of an idea of this is what it's like. Thank you so much for joining and sticking around. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye. See you next Monday. I should be here next Monday. Yes, yes, I should be. Yeah, I should be. Okay.